Before we begin, I would like for you to take a moment. Take a really deep breath, pause for a second, and I want you to release. As you're doing this, I want you to let your mind wander. Imagine if I told you you have 1 year to live. At the end of this year, you're going to die. So let me give you a moment. Think about what you want to accomplish. What would you like to do in the year that you have left? As you're still continuing your breathing, I want you to now imagine if I told you you only have a month to live. What are you going to get rid of? What are you going to try to accomplish while you have this week? Now, what if you only had 1 minute? How would that change? After you get over the craziness of, oh my God, there's so much I should do. I really need to do so many things just because they told me I need to be successful. They told me I need to go to school. They told me I need to get a job. And they also told me I need to do this, and I have no time to do any of it all. But once you get over that, you realize not a whole lot of it really matters, does it? Sometimes we get caught in the drama of a game that we create for ourselves, and we forget what we do it for. I won't tell you my life story because I think you guys have heard it all. I'm the general, typical person that was really, really broke, and I was so down, and I became so successful, right? Just like most other people that get an opportunity to speak, because that's the story that resonates with all of us. But what I want to talk about with you guys is don't make the same mistake I did. Because the moment I was down, when I really wanted to make it, I started listening to everybody around me. And I wanted to become successful. I read every book you can imagine. I watched every TED Talk you name. I watched every single entrepreneur that you think would be out there that has made it. I studied all of it, and I became good at it. I wanted to make $30,000, $40,000 a year just to be happy. And in 2008, I was able to accomplish that. Well, once I got there, then they told me economy's crashed. What am I supposed to do now? I worked so hard to learn all this stuff, and now you're telling me economy's crashed? And people are not buying, everybody's worried about their finances, so what am I supposed to do? I became more and more aggressive. I started learning more. I started reading more. I started coming up with other strategies that would help me gain personally. And that's what I focused on. Once I focused on that, between 2008 and 2009, we doubled our revenue. Between 2009 and 2010, we doubled our revenue again. The crazy thing about that is that we doubled our own revenue for 5 consecutive years. You would think after all I'd gone through, that would be my happiness, right? And the reason why I got into business in the first place is because I thought I'm so broke and I'm so down and I'm not worthy of a damn thing. If I don't achieve success, I've not accomplished anything, because that's what everybody around me was telling me, right? So once I became so wealthy and so successful, way beyond my wildest dreams, I started buying toys because I needed to fill that void that was inside me, right? Get a car because I didn't have a car. Get a car that actually has an AC. Then get a better car. Then get a better car, right? So-and-so has a Lamborghini, why can't I? So-and-so just got a house, why can't I, right? So move from this apartment to the other apartment, move closer to the beach, get a bigger house, move up into high rises, and so on and so forth. And that was basically the whole game. I felt so empty the day I woke up and I said to my wife, Christy, something in my eye? I can't really see. I was like, what? I was like, I can't really see from my right eye. Anything there? Like, no, I don't think so. I was so stupid. I did not even go to a doctor that moment because I had a business to run. I was so busy in this game that I created for myself that nothing else really mattered. I was blinded to everything else. So I went to a business meeting because who cares about your eye, right? I mean, you would do the same thing, no? So I won't bore you with the details of it because it was such a scary process for me in that 11 months that I saw 23 different surgeons. And that was in 2014. Even till this day, I don't have a diagnosis. All I know, and all the doctors know, is that there are 3 lesions, meaning spots, on my brain, and they don't know how much longer I have. I was stuck in an MRI machine for an hour and a half at some point at Cedars-Sinai. And I was just thinking to myself, so now what? The surgeon I was just talking to just looked me in the eye and said, Ash, I honestly don't know. You might have 6 months to live, or you might be okay for another 60 years. That woke me up. I didn't really hear much after 6 months, because this little game that I was so caught in didn't really matter anymore, because I couldn't even play the big game of a life, let alone worry about this little game that I'd made for myself. Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of sales of products that I had done meant nothing. All the friends, fans, followers, you're all on Instagram, right? Means nothing. It didn't mean anything to me at the time, because I started reviewing what I had done in my life. And what I want to tell you is that we don't talk about death much. Why is that? Why don't we talk about death? It's like we're on a vacation here on this earth, right? And at some point I'm going to have to leave. If I'm going to have to leave, shouldn't I start actually planning for some of this stuff? If you're on a vacation, don't you want to get a few things done, see a few sights, go a few places? And I had not done that. I didn't feel like the world was going to be a better place because I was here. And that was my biggest grief. That's why I was not ready to let go, because I just couldn't. And I want to tell you something today that hopefully, if you take nothing else from my talk, you will always remember this. In life, sometimes you get caught in something. It might be a breakup. It might be a death. It might be a contract that's not working out. It could be your friend. It could be your wife, girlfriend, husband. Your car just broke down. You just got fired. I want you to remember this book. I want you to remember this only. And remember, I told you, when you get caught in that, snap yourself out of it. And remember, it's just a thing. There's a whole life happening here. And the one thing that you're caught in is just a thing. If you don't worry about that and realize there are so many other things that may be more important to you, once you're facing the raw, true death, not going to mean much. There are so many students I talk to these days, and most of them say, I don't know what I want to do. I really don't. I have no idea what I'm going to do after I graduate. I don't know what I want to study in college. And that's because we're all confused. I was the one that listened to everything you're being told right now. Every single thing that they're telling you should do, I did it all. And I was very successful at it. Everything you're about to do, I already did, and I got to that level. And once I got there, and I got the news that I'm dying, it didn't matter. Because my mission is to leave this earth a better place than when I found it. And what I want to leave you with, make this talk short, because your time is the most valuable asset you will ever have. You can pick that up if you want to. But if you don't leave this earth in the way that you want it to, then it won't matter. There are so many people telling us so many amazing things. Listen to yourself. Don't listen to me either. I don't want you guys to follow me on Instagram. I don't want you guys to come back and say, hey, Ash, what about that talk? Everything I'm telling you, if it resonates with you, is because it's not mine. It's yours. And I want you to find the light that's in you. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and I want you to be happy. Go out there, do what you want to do, and remember, you can never do anything that's wrong. It's just your way.